Hi everyone, and thank you so much for viewing Seeking the Sacred Earth and taking time today to watch this video. This is the first in a series of videos I'm going to be making about how to teach your children about emotional awareness and conscious emotional choices on how to express ourselves when we're having feelings, deep feelings, good feelings, bad feelings, all of it. So first, the first thing I like to do when I'm working with children and we're talking about emotions is I give them all pieces of paper and different kinds of mediums, paints, pencils, crayons, markers, and I just start opening up the dialogue to speak about emotions because you never really know how their families are, what kind of dialogues the families have as far as emotional interaction, emotional expression. So the first thing I like to do is talk about a positive emotion. So I would ask, what is everyone's favorite feeling to have? And we let the children name that, be that, excitement, happiness. They may say love, and that's a really good segue for a couple of different things. But then you take the good ones and you take like the top three that everyone has agreed on, and you say, okay, what does happiness look like? Let's put it on paper. Let's draw it. Let's color it. Let's create it. What does happiness look like to you? And you allow them to draw, and they're going to be seeing each other drawing too. Now, what's interesting about this is as the children are going to be doing this, you're going to notice that their own happiness is going to be expanding. They're going to have some energy expansion happening as they're all doing these drawings. And then I would suggest doing at least two. Okay, what's the next best feeling that we all want to draw? And then we notice after they've drawn, after they've done this creative exercise, then it's time to look at them. And one of the main things that I focus on is what are the colors that are used. Because as we progress in this syllabus on how to care for children and their emotions, we're going to be dealing a lot with colors, how they can start using the colors when they're in a negative space to transmute it with using color in their mind's eye. So we want to really focus on, okay, what are the colors that happiness or excitement or love, what are the colors that are representative of this experience for each of them? As a teacher, I would recommend keeping a notebook about this so that each student has its own page so that if their specific colors can be recorded so that as we go through the program, you'll be able to say, okay, this was your color for happiness. Let's start working on that color when they're feeling negative. So this would be the first session that I would do, which is just really focusing on positive emotions and then creating them on paper. As we are going to be looking at the colors that they're going to be using, I also then like to, sometimes they may be drawing figures or faces. And this leads me to the next part of this exercise, which is when we start working with children with their emotions, we want them to be able to understand that their emotions are not who they are. Their emotions are messengers. They're not actually who the child is. It's not their being. It's not their personality. The emotions are energy in motion, emotion. So while we're looking at their drawings, we want to see if somebody's painted a face, be like, okay, this is what happiness looks like. This is what joy looks like. And so we can say, well, hello, joy. There you are. Look at this picture of joy. Because what we're going to start teaching them is how to name these emotions. If you have experience with children, then you know when they get very upset, it subsides if you acknowledge that they're upset. If you try to deny their feelings, it will actually create more resistance, and their tantrum or their expression will increase in its discordant vibration. So this is so important as they're drawing these emotions that we're naming them. We're naming them so that when we get to the next phase of anger or fear or, anxiety, we'll be able to say, hello, anxiety, I see you, anxiety. Hello, anger, I see you, anger. So again, let's just recap. This is just the first session and many that I'm going to be teaching about how to teach children how to use emotional awareness for their benefit. So the first thing that we're going to do is ask them, what are your favorite good feelings? And then we're going to allow them to draw them and artistically, creatively express how does this feeling look? What are the colors? Does it have a face? Is it an animal? Really allow them to express creatively, outside of the box, what these feelings look like to them, feel like to them, seem to them. And then we'll go on in the next session and I'll discuss how we do the negative emotions, because that'll be slightly different. All of this to start giving them a dialogue and a sense of space between who they are and the emotions that they're feeling. So thank you so much for viewing. If you enjoyed this, please send this on to someone that you think would also enjoy it. And I just want to give a big shout out to Brigitte and Sasha, who've inspired me to start this program and this part of Seeking the Sacred Earth. So thanks so much. Please, like this on YouTube and send it to people that have children that you know that it will benefit. And as I said, this will be a series. So you'll be getting more and more of these sent to you guys through the website, through social media, and of course through the YouTube channel. So thank you so much for viewing.